Hello and welcome to this video looking at Forza Motorsport 5, which you can see here was running on triple screens at E3. We've got some exclusive footage here for Family Gamer TV, and you can see it here being tested in the Formula 1 car around the Nürburgring Nordschleife. So you can see here overtaking standard cars, driver working his way round. This is the first time that Forza 5 has ever been shown running in this configuration, so it's really a nice surprise to see it in action. And of course E3 saw the reveal of the Nürburgring as well, so visually absolutely stunning. Turn 10 Studios believe it's one of the most accurate representations of the course ever. However, there are some small issues on the course which I'm not entirely 100% about, which I think we'll see when more racing games use a similar scanning technology. It's certainly going to be a battleground. The Nürburgring has become this battleground because it's seen as one of the toughest circuits in the world, and undoubtedly it is, but it's also seen as one of the biggest technical challenges in terms of rendering and displaying in video game form, and certainly we've never seen it in this level of visual fidelity. Incredibly detailed. They've even scanned all of the chalk markings on the ground, removing certain items to make it all family friendly. As we see here, the driver working his way round using the new Mad Catz wheel, which has been shown recently. The bezels on the TV are very large. I wouldn't suggest using TVs with this sort of bezel configuration, and also the TVs are a little bit high. You can see the driver's having to look up over the cockpit. You should actually have it just a little bit lower, which works well for everyone. But either way, still very comfortable. Triple screens adds a sense of scale that you just don't get in a single screen sort of racing experience. And you can see the driver here is going to be using all assists as well. You do need that on Forza. You can turn off some of the assists on Forza 5, but I do find that with all assists off, it's not as realistic. There is excessive wheel spin, and it's very, very tricky with the wheel. And the last thing we want is people falling off the circuit all the time. Now, just a note as well how the guy's holding the wheel. He's holding it a bit too high there. I'd always suggest holding it, put your thumb through the grips, exactly as the driver has in the real racing car. Gives you a much better feel for the wheel and for instant reaction to the turning circle as well. Always tricky though when you're overtaking these slow cars. You need to be patient through the apex of the corners. You need to make a judgment early on whether you're going to go on the outside or the inside. Closing speeds are very high. That's an outside generally, but he's gone on the inside, hit some grass, and then we go down this long back straight, or main straight should I say. Now if you visit the Nürburgring, you won't be allowed to go down here flat out. They do slow you down halfway. But I'm sure it's a hell of an experience in a car like this. And I spoke to Sterling Moss about it a few years ago, and so Sterling was saying you'd come up to the hill and there'd be a bridge, and he says we'd try to stay flat but we never did. Of course back then it was a very risky business. But I hope you've enjoyed this lap of the Nürburgring, and there'll be more Family Gamer action from E3 and lots of other stuff to look forward to on the channel. But that's it from me for now. As ever, more soon.